Looking at our third histogram, what we're going to do is we're going to make our frequency table. So we start with our interval. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put our frequency. Now, remember, we need a minimum of 5 intervals. So what I want to do is find what my least value is and then what my greatest value is. So looking for my least, it would be 35. And looking for my greatest, it would be 95. So I'm going to go by tens. I want to start with my 30s, so I'm going to go 30 to 39, then 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, 80 to 89, and 90 to 99. Notice I have a minimum of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7's a good number. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to count the frequencies. So I'm going to look to see how many are in the 30s. And I just have this 1 in the 30s. So my frequency is 1. Now I'm going to look for the numbers in the 40s. And looking at the numbers in the 40s, I have 1. Now the numbers in the 50s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to look for the numbers in the 60s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to look for the numbers in the 70s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to look for the numbers in the 80s. 1, 2, 3. And the numbers in the 90s. 1. So I'm going to come up with my histogram. Remember, we're not starting at 0, so if we don't start at 0, we put the 2 slashes, stating we could start wherever we want. So I'm going to start with 30, and I'm going to go 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Highest frequency is 5, so I'm going to go up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that right there is my frequency. And now what I'm going to do is draw my bins. First one goes up to 1, and then 2, and 4, 5, and 5 again, and 3, and 1. So this right here is my histogram. Now I'm going to describe my distribution. Remember, we're going to use socks. We're going to talk about our shape. We're going to talk about the outliers. We're going to talk about the center. And we're going to talk about the spread. Now, when we talk about the shape, we see that our peaks are right here. So we're kind of in the center. So we're going to say approximately symmetric. Outliers are when we are looking for gaps and points far away, which we don't have. So we're going to say none. The center, remember, we talk about peaks instead of the mode. Peaks because it's an interval, it's not a specific number. So the peaks are from 60 to 69, and what we have is 70 to 79. And our spread, we actually talk about the numbers, which we mentioned before, the 95 and the 35. So remember, when we're talking about our range, what we're doing is we're taking 95 minus 35, and that right there would give us 60. Now, what I want to do is number 1, letter B. It's been a while since we put something in standard form. So I just kind of wanted to go through this process. Letter A is a little bit easier, but letter B, notice we have the 2 points. We're going to find our slope first. In order to write an equation, we need a point and a slope. So we have 10 minus 4. We subtract our y's, and we subtract our x's. 3 minus 1, and that right there gives us 6 over 2, which is 3. Then we're going to pick one of the points. I always like to pick the easier one. 1, 4 to me seems a little bit easier. So I'm going to go y minus 4 equals 3. That's my slope. And then x minus 1. Just in case you forgot, this right here is my point slope form. And instead of slope intercept form, we're putting it in standard form. Standard form is going to look like this. Remember that our x's and y's are on one side, our constant values on the other. And these are never fractions or decimals, and our a value is always positive. So we're going to simplify this. Y minus 4 equals 3x minus 3. And then I'm going to add the 4, and I get y equals 3x. So with this equation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract the 3x, and I get negative 3x plus y equals 1. This is almost perfect, except if you're looking closely, you see that we have a negative there. So I'm going to divide all of these by negative 1, and that gives me 3x minus y equals negative 1. That right there is how I write it.